Houston. He's got a hole. He's over. Alabama touchdown.
I'm just wondering if your listeners know how good a football player you were. I can still see you playing that fullback, knocking those players out of the way. And that I believe I could have run behind you.
Martin, I can remember when we came to summer and you were playing fullback up there, and I saw you in the weight room and watched you work out in the weight room. If you could pick up, you were strong enough to pick up the whole weight room. I wanted to fix it, and I run it back to the biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier on Tide 100.9 and 1230 AM WTBC. It's the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, powered by Box Eye Care. It's been a few days, man. Oh, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Welcome. Glad to be back with you. X and Wyatt did a great job on Friday. I was still out. Actually, was in Gatlinburg with my youth group, and we were worshiping God. It was a great time, a great opportunity. So glad that you was here with X, but glad to be back with you on today. So great lines of conversation to be had today, and we'll work you in as we move forward. Having a little technical difficulty. That's what happens when gremlins get in the equipment. We're going to be adding X to the conversation here in just a moment. But as we always do, want to remind you that this is the day that the Lord has made. So let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. And listen, especially as we head into the new year. Make sure you do that. Today's playbook has a variety of topics that we can get to. Manic Monday, of course. Manic Monday, couple off-topic type things, and one of those involves a teammate of mine. So I'll hit that in just a moment. But is Bama basketball ready for SEC play? Big time there. Talk about the final bowl preparation with Kennington. We'll talk about Saban being the commissioner. That's starting to pick up some steam. A prominent coach that Pat loves said that Saban should be the guy. And then this is kind of a topic for the entirety of the offseason until we get some clarity in college football. bowl games, will they survive? Can you really watch bowl games and know anything for the most part? I don't know if you can or not. But when you look at the bowl games, can you tell what's going on? Alabama has a good squad of players. Only guys opting out are the guys who opted into the portal, or the guys not playing are those who have injuries. So Bama, to me, that's sweet for Bama. You can talk about all you want. Bama's had 2 opportunities since this craziness of people opting out of bowl games happened, and they haven't opted out, X, and that's huge. So we'll talk about that, what it says about Alabama's culture. But bowl games, the portal in general is getting crazy. Recruiting, nobody's talking about this. Recruiting, how many high school kids will not get a scholarship on the late signing period now? There's going to be high school kids who thought they were going to get to sign with a D1 school who will not get a scholarship now because of the stupidity of the NCAA making drastic moves without thinking through everything. When they gave I'm not saying that they shouldn't give the players eligibility. I'm just saying it shouldn't be such a rash, quick thing. It should be better thought out. And I personally don't like the rule necessarily, because you are playing college ball. You just weren't good enough to get out of high school into the D1 rank, or you didn't take care of your academics. And that's why you went to junior college, because you didn't take care of your academics. So now we're rewarding guys for not being good enough at that age. Or you're getting guys who didn't take care of the student part of student athlete. You're saying, hey, it's not going to hurt you. Whatever. But what nobody's talking about is there are going to be high school kids now. Okay, Alabama has a situation. We'll talk about that we benefit from this rule. So it's not that I'm hating on the rule. We potentially have a huge benefit from the JUCO rule. Will mid-majors survive college football? Will everybody's saying, hey, let's get the conferences realigned. Let's play a college game. All of these rules are going to hurt college athletes at some level, and no one is looking at the trickle-down effect. We'll talk about that, high school athletes and more. So it's a lot to get to. But once again, reminding you that you can get in on the conversation on the Empowerment Strategies and Solutions hotline at 205-342-9904, 205-342-9904. That's the Empowerment Strategies and Solutions hotline. Good morning, X. How you doing, man?
Good morning. Doing well. How are you?
Doing well. You guys were awesome Friday. I got to listen in as I was getting ready to head out on that 7-8 hour trek up to Gatlinburg, to Extreme Winter 2024 with the youth. I'm getting old, man. They wearing me out, but I'm still hanging with them. But anyway, it is crazy, X. There's so many different things to go to. Is there anything in particular that jumps out at you before I get to this commission talk from James Franklin of all people?
I think it's
Pat's guy.
Let's jump into it. Saban being the potential commissioner of college football is a very intriguing thing, but I also think they're doing it simply because they don't want him to be able to still have direct ties to Alabama. That's why they want him.
Well, I don't know, man. I think I think that they can beat Alabama without Saban. I don't think it's that. I think that they think that as a whole, Alabama's back on the level with them, but they know that they cannot maintain this. You saw what happened to the basketball coach at Miami. He just He just went in and said, "Hey guys, I can't take this anymore," and worked out a deal to step down as coach and just work with the program. So that tells you he didn't want to leave Miami, and Miami didn't want him to leave. He just didn't want to be coaching on the court anymore. This is about a 2-minute clip of James Franklin, ex, talking about. Let me see if I can find this. James Franklin talking about this Nick Saban scenario here. Let's see. All right, let me know. Make sure we got
for a number of years. It's obviously become even more challenging with some of the things with the calendar and with the transfer portal, the windows, and then on top of that, NIL. So it is a challenge, and I think it's one of these things that we can't just keep talking about, that this is a challenge and a problem in college football. We got to come up with some solutions. And, we've been talking about this for a while. A lot of different people have brought it up. I'm one of the people that feel very, very strongly that we need a commissioner of college football. We need somebody that's waking up every single morning and going to bed every single night thinking about what's in the best interest of college football. Right now, I think that's being done by the commissioners. But whenever you have people that are making decisions and running college football, they're going to be biased towards what's best to their conference, and that's not in the best interest of college football and the student athletes. So I'm a big proponent for that, but we just can't keep talking about this being a problem. We got to come up with some solutions. What are possibly some of those solutions? For me, and again, I know whenever a coach says this, people don't want to hear it from coaches. But I think if every decision we make is based on money, then we're heading in the wrong direction. We should be doing what's best for college football and the student.
Oh, it cut off on me. I'll finish it out. He goes on to say that he thinks that person, X, that should be the guy is Nick Saban. So I wonder what Pat thinks about that when he's saying that, that Nick Saban should be the commissioner. And he said, of course, he probably know that he's going to get a call from Nick Saban. But he hits all of the other stuff that I was talking about, X, in terms of the all the other ancillary things with college football. He hit them all. And that to me is very, very concerning. So as we get ready, we'll come back on the other side. We'll add Kennington Smith III to the conversation. We'll work your phone calls in on the Empowerment Strategy and Solutions hotline. You can get in on it at 205-342-9904. And coming back on the other side, I got to give a shout out to my boy, Sam Shade. So we'll talk about that. Just hit that, shout out to him and try to get him on at some point. But good things happening for Sam Shade and crew. More conversation. We invite you to get in on it. You're listening to the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, and we're powered by Box Eye Care.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Well, happy Monday, last Monday of 2024. And we're not doing so badly on the roadways right now. Starting out, we do have some traffic light issues on Third Lane Wallace southbound near University Boulevard. Those are not working right at 12th Street there. So you do want to treat that like a four-way stop. Otherwise, we're looking good inside the construction zones. 2059 westbound to Tuscaloosa Coaling. Just watch out for the detours posted. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by KFC. 'Tis the season to fill your table and feed the whole family with KFC's Festive Feast. Get 6 original recipe tenders, 6 pieces of classic fried chicken, 2 sides, and 3 sauces for just $25.99.
At Batteries Plus, we know off is not an option. Off is a car that won't start when you have to get to work, drive to school, run an errand. You're busy and you need to be on time, on the road, on schedule, and where you need to be. At Batteries Plus, you'll find trusted, dependable, fully charged batteries for your car or truck, plus free battery testing and expert installation service too. Life's waiting. Power on with Batteries Plus. 700 plus locations nationwide.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Got timberland in West Alabama or East Mississippi? North River Timber Company has you covered. Since 2011, Courtney White, a registered forester, along with his expert team, have been managing timberland and harvesting timber across 4 West Alabama counties. They offer comprehensive timber management plans, reforestation services, and appraisals. Courtney White says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment go unrealized. Call North River Timber Company today. Email them at northrivertimberco@gmail.com or call 205-242-5127.
Join the Tide 100.9 men's basketball pregame show for every Alabama basketball home game. Live at Grandstand in Temerson Square downtown. Your hosts Wyatt Fulton and Hunter Johnson will break down the Bama men's basketball game and other big games from the SEC and around the country. Stop by, meet Wyatt and Hunter, and order something to eat from the kitchen and your favorite drink from the bar before the Bama game. They also have lots of TVs to watch the Bama game at Grandstand in Temerson Square downtown.
Hey, I'm Martin Houston, and I want to tell you about exciting news happening at Box Eye Care. They've moved to their new location, bringing you a brand new lab, stylish new frames, and a fresh look just for you. Enjoy their expanded frame inventory, competitive prices, and faster service, all with the same great level of service you've come to know and trust. Discover this full-service eye care at Box Eye Care's new location. With their in-house lab, they offer unbeatable value and one of the largest frame collections in town. Schedule your eye exam today and walk out with new glasses in less than an hour in most cases. Visit boxeyecare.com. That's boxeyecare.com or call 205-342-0660. That's 205-342-0660. Visit them at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That's Box Eye Care. Your vision, our priority.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky partially sunny today with a pleasant afternoon, the high 64. Tonight, mostly fair with the low at 53. Tomorrow, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, the high 61. Wednesday, partly to mostly sunny and cooler, the high 51. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 51 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, powered by Box Eye Care. Don't forget the Empowerment Strategy and Solutions hotline is open for business. Are you ready to unlock your full potential and step into the champion's mindset? At Empowerment Strategy and Solutions, we've created the Champions Mindset Program, the ultimate program to help you dominate in life and leadership. The Champion Mindset Program starts with a custom playbook, a strategic plan tailored to your specific goals, designed to help you execute with precision and purpose. It also features a full suite of MVP DISC personality profile reports powered by the Maxwell Method, helps you to uncover your strengths and guide your growth. You also have access to Pep Talk University, which includes 140 plus self-paced leadership courses to fuel your progress, a 30-day growth jumpstart plan to kickstart your transformation, and personalized one-on-one coaching with Coach Houston. We have designed this to keep you focused, accountable, and growing personally and professionally every step of the way. Also, don't forget, we deliver inspirational and motivational keynotes and customized workshops. Don't wait to level up. Get your champion mindset started today. Visit martinhouston.org/book me or email learn more at empowermentstrategy.com. All right. Don't forget, we speak, we coach, and we train, and we love to do that for you. Good morning, Kennington. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Doing well, doing well.
Good.
Hey, man, we want to get your thoughts on, did you see James Franklin's comments?
About Nick Saban?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw. I think that if there was anybody who should be the commissioner of college football, I feel like it is Saban. Obviously, he has a lot of strong opinions. I think that he would provide a lot of structure, even if he did implement things that would probably repeal some of the things that are happening in college football. I do think he will provide a little bit of structure. I think Nick Saban probably has a lot of interest in it. How it would happen, no idea, but I'm not mad at the suggestion at all.
You know, and X, what's your thoughts?
I think he would be the guy. I think he, even being retired, is still somewhat seen as the face of college football. So him stepping in, as Kennington said, even though he would repeal some things, I think some things do need to be repealed. The structure that he would bring to college football as a whole would be very beneficial and needed to the entire landscape of the sport.
Yeah, and the reason I love the thing, Kennington, if you go back and look at every major change that happened while Nick Saban was here, he would always ask, he would go, I don't like this. I don't think it's good for the best of college football. And then he would go out and be better at everybody at doing what he didn't like. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he has a track record that said the playoffs are going to ruin the bowl games, where we're living in that. He has a track record of saying if you don't put the he said I want players paid, but I think there needs to be a way to do it, or it's going to ruin college football. I don't think you want to open up the portals to everything. The part that nobody's talking about, Kennington, and I can't help it because I was blessed to be a pretty good college football player. And even if I had made money, that money would be gone right now. And it's my degree in that education that helped take care of my family. And nobody's talking about that right now, Kennington. Nobody's talking about the student side of athlete. So that's what my biggest concern is that I've heard that a lot of guys, not just the grad guys, but there are regular guys taking online courses now, and that can't be true, is it, Kennington? That they're letting regular students take online courses to be college football players during this time instead of being enrolled?
Yeah, I mean that feels very true, especially post-COVID. I feel like that.
I've heard it.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty standard, especially guys like, guys who are like older into their degrees, like, guys like Milrow, Malachi Moore, Johnson Lawson. I'm sure they're not sitting in classrooms at this point. So.
But they have a degree. I'm talking about, I heard that undergrad guys are taking them, and most of the courses that are online are elective, aren't moving you towards your degree. There used to be this thing that you had to have. When I played, listen, my senior year, I graduated, and this is not to be arrogant, I graduated with 129 hours, okay? I only needed 128 to graduate. You know why I had to have 129, Kennington? I needed 11 hours to graduate. I needed 12 classroom hours to be eligible. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like now, after I graduated, my senior year, I was in graduate school. So yeah, I had an independent study and I had an HR class, and it was once a week on Thursday nights. But I was a graduate student. I was a student. So that was the way the classes were offered. Anyway, that's just Martin's pet peeve, that no one's thinking long term for these guys and they're letting them think. And there's some good moms and dads out there, but there's some moms and dads out there. They're being played. They don't know they're being played, and these kids are going to make $250,000 for 3 to 4 years, graduate, get hurt, finish school, not make the NFL, and have a $250,000 a year, $500,000 a year lifestyle, and then they're going to have to fall back and get a job, even if they have a degree, get a job making 50% or less of what they're making if they were to get lucky and be blessed and get a six-figure job.
Yeah, 100%. And I think even, coming back to the same conversation at Alabama, like something innovative that was kind of brought under his watch that was completed, like was the Advantage Center. Something where players can go. There's a financial literacy arm. There's arms where they can, boardrooms where they can kind of sit down, talk about those things, like talk about their NIL deals, how to manage their money, how to do their taxes, all those things. So even when he was on his way out at Alabama, we didn't know it. He did kind of leave some things in place where student athletes of all sports, not just football, can kind of get ahead. So he is forward thinking in that way and trying to implement some things to help the student athletes out. And one thing I'll say about Alabama football, they seem to be graduating their football players at a pretty high clip.
Yes.
I mean, Milroe, Booker, a lot of these guys who are early enrolled get their degrees in under 3 years. So at least, from the football side of it, I don't know about other sports. It seems like they graduate a good amount of their guys pretty quickly, which is good to see.
And it's not.
You're 100% correct on that. As far as the graduation aspect, we just saw 2 weeks ago when they had graduation. Ty Simpson, who's a redshirt sophomore, graduated, but Jalen Milroe, a redshirt junior, got his graduated grad school already. So these guys are coming in at Alabama and getting those things because of the things Nick Saban has done. But that's not the case at every university. I feel like what's going on at Alabama is a unique situation among the bigger landscape. And then you add these guys that transfer to 3, 4, 5 schools. Every time you transfer, it's like a 20% hit to graduating. So some of these guys are going to 4 or 5 schools and walking out with nothing and with no NFL future.
Yeah, and here's the other thing, and Kennington, we'll get back to some specific sports related. But here's the thing: it's not the guys who stay, because every guy y'all mentioned is a guy who was at Alabama 3+ years. X, you just hit it. It's the guys who jump ship and change classes, unless something has changed. Kennington. Back in the day when I was looking at transferring or other guys looked at transferring, your courses had to transfer. And a lot of times they don't. And we had to be moving toward a degree to be eligible. You couldn't just take classes. It was toward a degree. And I don't know if I don't see how that can be the case when you have guys who are in their 3rd year and they're going to their 4th school. Let that sink in. There are guys who started 3 years ago since this portal thing happened, and that's crazy. And Kennington, the other part I want to get you to talk about on the other side, so hold this, is this JUCO rule that is going to kill high schoolers in February that nobody's talking about. But let's get to I think it's Ragged Glory. You're in with Martin, Xavier, and Kennington. What's on your mind?
Well, hey, good morning. Welcome home.
Good morning.
Oh, there you are. I cut out for a second. Hey, Martin, I just wanted to give a shout out of how my sister and I are well pleased with the way that Xavier and Wyatt covered Friday. We felt like we were going to go through withdrawals, and your son nailed your proclamation. He did it his own way, and he didn't stick to the script, but boy, he got the gist of it.
I'm glad he's his own person.
I'm telling you, so be pleased with your son. He got your back, man. I just want to leave you with a funny thought about this Nick Saban thing, being commissioner. All I can see is a commercial already in my mind that says, Miss Terry ain't going to like this.
That's pretty good, Ragged Glory.
All righty. Hey, you guys have a blessed day, the entire team. We're happy to have you back. You got a lot of information to cover, and I'll let you go because I got to take the time to service and notice someone today. So.
All right. Thanks, Ragged Glory. Kenny, I like the little Miss Terry. That needs to be the tagline.
Right.
We're changing this because Miss Terry didn't like it. Thanks, Ragged Glory. Kendra, before we get to break, you have anything on that side of the conversation, man?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there will be a large group of people petitioning for Miss Terry to have a cabinet position herself. So maybe we can make it. She can make it maybe it could be like a package deal, like a 2-for-1 type situation.
They definitely are a package deal, and that package deal served Alabama well for 17 years. So when nobody thought it would go past 2 or 3 years, so it's awesome. We'll be back on the other side to keep the conversation rolling. We have so much to get to, and we definitely want to get. We're gonna have plenty of time to get to some of this conversation that you can probably see that I'm pretty passionate about. But we're gonna get Kennington's thoughts on a lot of what's happening around bowl prep and around Bama being ready for SEC play and more. You're tuned to the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Well, happy Monday, last Monday of 2024. And we're not doing so badly on the roadways right now. Starting out, we do have some traffic light issues on Lurleen Wallace southbound near University Boulevard. Those are not working right at 12th Street there. So you do want to treat that like a four-way stop. Otherwise, we're looking good inside the construction zones, 2059 westbound to Tuscaloosa Coaling. Just watch out for the detours posted. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
Nearly everyone has two kidneys, each about the size of an adult fist. They are located on either side of the spine, just below the ribs. Kidneys are very important to overall health. They help remove waste and extra fluid from the body. They filter the blood. Kidneys also make the vitamins that control growth. They also perform an important function by controlling blood pressure and minerals like calcium and potassium to keep the entire body healthy.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-week challenge.
The Metamucil 2-week challenge?
Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling?
Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Dixie Battery Supply takes care of all of your battery needs. Find the commercial batteries you're after and never feel powerless again. Come check out our Northport and Tuscaloosa locations or call us at 205-758-9190. And once again, power up all your devices by using Dixie Battery Supply, DixieBatterySupply.com. They offer reconditioned batteries starting at $39.99, and you'll find all the batteries you need. And don't forget to ask us about our golf carts. That's DixieBatterySupply.com.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's semi-annual sale and clearance is happening now. Save up to 60%, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Visit the pharmacy at Midtown. That's the pharmacy at midtown.com. TJ and his team are looking for the opportunity to provide you with great services, including compounding, home delivery, and a whole lot more. You're looking for a great pharmacy that'll take care of all of your needs, including wellness classes, including health, and more. That's the pharmacy at Midtown. Call them at 205-579-9933. If you're looking for a great pharmacy, you need to try the pharmacy at Midtown. That's the pharmacy at Midtown, pharmacy at midtown.com.
Hey, Jen, I just stopped in to say hello. Oh my gosh, look how busy it is in here. How did you get all these customers?
Yeah, this month has been a record breaker for us. For a long time, we had decent business coming in from word of mouth, but we weren't really growing. Lately, though, a lot of new folks have been finding us online, and that's made all the difference.
That's terrific. I wish I could figure out how to do that for my shop, but I have no idea where to start.
Just do what I did. It's not as hard as you think. Go to mylocalcustomers.com to see exactly how many searches there are here for businesses like yours.
Okay, then what?
If you see that there are a good number of clients searching in our area, you'll also get some suggestions for the best way to get their attention.
Do you think there are a lot of people searching for my business?
There's only one way to find out. Go to mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, easy, and free.
Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free local customer analysis that will show you how many Tuscaloosa customers are searching online for your type of business. It's quick, easy, and free. Visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
Keep it locked into Tide 100.9 for more of the Martin Houston Show with Martin Houston and X's and O's Sports Xavier Houston.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. Looking to buy or sell your dream home in Tuscaloosa, West Alabama, and beyond? Look no further than Martin Houston Real Estate, proudly partner with Realty One Group Legends. We're here to make your real estate journey seamless, whether you're a first-time buyer upgrading to your forever home or listing your property with confidence. Our team delivers top-notch buyer and listing agent services, blending modern technology with good old-fashioned personal touch. Plus, with our trusted referral network, we can connect you with expert agents no matter where you're headed. Ready to get started? Contact us today. You can email martinhoustonrealestate@gmail.com or text 205-826-1381, 205-826-1381. If you or anyone you know are looking to work with professional real estate agents, my team will make sure you get connected with the right experts. Martin Houston Real Estate, your dream is our mission. Let's find your perfect home together. Martin Houston Real Estate, where real estate and relationships build great results. Kennington, what's your thoughts real quick on the JUCO situation and just the speed in which it was introduced and the long-term ramifications potentially that will have immediate impact in just a month and a half or so?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head before the break. Having covered high school recruiting in South Carolina, small town, the amount of the lack of high school recruiting, I think, at that level, once you get past, like, obviously the elite, the Keelan Russells, et cetera, they're always going to have spots on college rosters. But once you kind of get down to like those lower levels, coaches are going to continuously opt for players with more experience who are in the transfer portal or have the extra eligibility over maybe finding a diamond in the rough at the high school level. So just continuously harder to get a college scholarship as a high school football player, and this rule is just going to contribute to that. I do think on the other end, though, down the road, it probably will make JUCOs a little bit more attractive just because you can go not lose any eligibility and still move on to a four-year school. So not great in the short term, in my opinion, for pipeline of college, which is high school recruiting. But in the long term, there might be some benefits, but I'm not really a fan.
Yeah, my concern, and I get what you're saying, is it could become the minor league almost development for college. But there's so many players. No matter which way you go, it's going to trickle down, right? Some high school kids are going to lose scholarships because of this rule. It may be the JUCO guy who is the 3-star version of a JUCO player is now going to miss out because the 3-star D1 player has moved down. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like high school kids are going to be impacted no matter how you look at this. And to me, it's an all-out assault on high school athletes. The transfer portal, the waiving of eligibility acts, and the fact that you now have guys, we're past COVID year, okay? And guys are still getting COVID years and exceptions like crazy. I don't even know who should be graduating, but why in the world would I take a high school kid who played in a 3A, 4A school with virtually no weight room or anything when I could go out and get a 20-year-old kid who still has 4 years of eligibility, who's been at least in some version of a college program, who has learned to be without mom, has gone through the homesickness, has gone through all of those things, and I get the same amount of eligibility. It's just like I said, it's to X.
They've turned college football into a joke when you stop and look at how things were and how they are now. And just so you know, if you redshirted during COVID, you're eligible to come back next year. So there's that. You're gonna have after the 2025 season, there will be no more. Well, I take that back. If there's not another injury, something type related after 2025, COVID is done and over with. Because guys like Jamarian Latham are eligible to come back next year because they redshirted in 2020 and then played 21 through 24. So that's the thing with COVID. But this JUCO thing, there are so many guys that are going to lose opportunities because, as you said, who's not going to take a 20 or 21-year-old JUCO transfer who's going to be eligible to play till he's 25 now, 26, because of a redshirt year.
Right.
That's what you're talking about. You're talking about guys being able to play college football with no craziness till they're 25. And God forbid they get hurt and get another year. I mean, we just talked about Cam McCormick finishing his career at Miami after 9 years. And you're going to fool around, and that's going to become the norm.
And hey, listen, that's fine if that's what they want it to become. But it's just, to me, and you know, I'm more upset, Kennington, about the opportunity. I know how big of a life change getting an opportunity to come from my little small town, being the first in my family to go to college, being a really, really good student, but also having the ability to play football, how it changed my life. And I just think about all of the guys out there who didn't do what they needed to do. Now they have a chance 2 to 3 years later to prevent some 17, 18-year-old from getting that opportunity. And that's I guess that's my concern is that. And then the other part of this, Kenny, nobody's talking about it. This whole thing, the mid-levels are going to go away or become their own league.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's kind of already happening. I mean, you're starting to see the division, and then kind of bleeding into the transfer portal part of it. Like, look at Tulane, for example. John Summerall turns down power offers to stay at Tulane, but then all of his best players enter the portal. It's like, what are you supposed to do? Coach stays, players leave. Players leave, sometimes coaches leave. It's never been harder to be a coach at the lower level of college football these days, and it's not getting any easier.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. And how do you write this ship? Because is there a need for a commissioner to separate from the NCAA and say, hey, we got to get these things back in check? Because nobody remembers when the transfer portal first started, you had one free transfer. You had one free get out of jail card, and then all of a sudden it was, well, you can transfer every year now. So is it a commissioner? What is it that's going to change it?
You can transfer.
I'm with the one-time transfer because we're definitely losing recipes here. It's like you get to the portal era and it's like former X school, Y school, Z school is now transferring to double A school. It's like 4 or 5. You look at the On3 graphics. There's like 5 colleges on the players.
TJ Finley.
I'm right, exactly. TJ Finley, others. I'm with the one-time transfer, and then after that, going back to sitting out a year, losing eligibility, maybe it would definitely rectify several issues with player movement.
And here's the thing, Kennington. there really isn't any changes that I have problems with. Okay. Literally, I could tell you if you do the JUCO rule, then you just bump up the scholarship from 85 to 90. Boom. That covers that. The transfer portal, one and done, and then you go back to the old rule. Boom, done. The NIL is about your branding, not about the school and collectives. Collectives gone. Okay. All of those rules, it's not that the rules and the changes are bad. It's just you cannot make wholesale changes the way we did all at one time.
Right.
All of these rules, Kennington, that have happened have been the biggest. If you take one of these rules, NIL, transfer portal, or JUCO, all three of those in a vacuum by themselves would be the three biggest changes in the last 100 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And they all happened. And they all happened in 1 year.
Huh?
And they all happened in 1 year.
And they all happened in 1 year with no guidelines. So that's
here's maybe all would agree. Instead of doing this, you don't lose eligibility by going to JUCO. Why don't you just give those JUCO guys an extra year? You see what I'm saying? So say they go to a JUCO for 2 years and they play both years. They got 3 years at their college, at their D1 school. Or if they redshirt a year at JUCO, which some guys do, they have 4 full years. They don't like.
And I think that's where there was one rule hinted at. We have to get the break here. There's one rule that was hinted at, Kennington, and I'll see if you've heard anything on it, where they said they're looking at just making college football 5 years of playing time, regardless. You got 5 years from the time you enroll in college, and that would cover what you just said with JUCO. That would cover injury, all of that, and it's not 4 years to get 5, but it's just 5 years. And if a kid's good enough to play all 5 years, he plays all 5 years. If he's not, he's just not. So I've heard that being floated, and that would incorporate the JUCO thing.
There is a lot of momentum for that change. I know a lot of college coaches are behind it. It'll be interesting to see how it happens. And like the crazy part about it is like the rules. We're talking about the calendar, the transfer portal, all the things. The rules just changed going into this year, like moving up signing day, like the 2 portal windows, and closing on this date and starting on this date, and all these things. This is the change, and now we're talking about changing it again. It just kind of speaks to how much structure is really needed in the sport.
And I'll just say this: the craziness is that we're looking to our government and Congress to bring sanity. That's all I need to say about how crazy college football is. If you look into I'm sorry. Hey, we're going to combine our breaks at the end. Chase, just let me know when we need to get out. D9, you're in with Kennington Smith III. What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, man. How's it going? Great show this morning, but I ain't going to lie. You just stole my thunder a little bit. I'm like you. I got no problems with the rules they've implemented. but I mean, I hate to say this. I got to agree. I mean, Coach Saban said it. Tuberville said it. Lots of other old school coaches said this. If you do this too quickly, you're going to destroy the very thing you're trying to make better.
Yes.
And you don't just throw a 5-year-old the keys to the family car and say, "Hey, man, have at it. You're smart. Go."
Yeah.
You got to do this in stages. You got to do this a little bit better because I know maybe in the past everybody's always said this has never been important to college sports, but in the end, I hate to say this, but the educational system of all these athletic facilities are going to be basically demolished because you'll never have a graduate. There'll be some that will if the school really pushes the graduation rate. But you can put this all the way back into high school. These high school kids are going to come out. Who cares if they get any kind of a high school diploma or degree? They got millions in the bank. They don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that to me is the worst part. We're teaching these young men, and in some cases, young women, maybe not at the football level, but you're teaching these young men, hey, you deserve this. No, you need to earn this. I mean, we see a lot of kids these days, they've been told their whole life, you deserve this. Well, I want you to have what I didn't have when I was growing up. man, God help us. We're teaching these young people. They're going to be destroyed at 30 years old. They're going to be uneducated and flat broke because they got no way of making money no more. Football's gone or an injury comes up. They have nothing to fall back on. And that to me is the worst part of this whole deal is what we're actually trying to teach these young men because I don't think in 5 years, college football as we know it will be totally real, a whole lot worse than it is now because a lot of these universities are going to find out and they're already finding out. Some of these season ticket holders are like, you know what? I can't afford this anymore. Yeah. And you fast forward 5 years to a bunch of kids who, hey, don't have a high school education, don't have a college degree. They ain't got a job, so they can't become a part of Tide Pride because they can't afford it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying you're playing yourself into a corner.
Yeah, and thanks for that. And you and I are saying the same thing in a lot of ways. You just word a little different. Thanks for that, Kennington. And back to you, Kennington. The big thing, X and Kennington, is the craziness is that it doesn't matter how much money they made. The NFL has all of these classes and rules, and these guys make millions, and a huge percent of those guys still end up broke or end up working after they're finished, even though they made a lot of money. That's what everybody they think that this is. It is lifelong money if you know how to manage it and invest it and all that, but most don't.
Mm-hmm.
Kennington, before we run out of time, tell everybody what you got coming up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Alabama's playing tomorrow, so going to be leaning into bowl game coverage on Tuesday and then kind of looking ahead to the quarterback competition, some other things later on in the week. And, looking ahead to Bama basketball, starting SEC play. Oklahoma's coming in. I believe they're undefeated, so it's going to be a top-ranked matchup. So some exciting things on tap for Bama athletics, so that's kind of what I'll be focused on.
Kenny, what are your thoughts about Bama tomorrow taking on Michigan in is it the ReliaQuest Bowl or
the ReliaQuest Bowl?
ReliaQuest Bowl.
And
the old Citrus Bowl.
I had to look up where ReliaQuest was. I had to look up what type of company it was. I think it's like cybersecurity, which is crazy. But, I honestly expect Alabama to blow them out. At least they should. I mean, Alabama's, all their NFL guys are playing. None of Michigan's guys are. Feels like an opportunity for them to end on a high note. So maybe it's competitive early, but I'm expecting Alabama to win by like 3 scores at least. And if they don't, then there's a whole other issue. So
is Caden Proctor playing?
He's practicing, so I would imagine that he tries to give it a go or plays in some capacity. I know there's been reports that he's had his surgery, he's planning to have surgery. He's been out there. Not sure what's going on with that situation. So I expect him to go or at least play a couple snaps. So I'm expecting Bama to win big, and hopefully there's some interesting storylines coming out of it. Maybe Jalen Mbakwe scores a touchdown or something like that. But I'm expecting a relatively easy day.
He looked good in that 6. All I'm saying. He looked.
Yeah.
I ain't being ugly, but he looked better in the 6 than we had in the 6. I'm just saying. Out loud.
Yeah. So for games at 11 tomorrow, so you'll be able to catch that. Bama wrapped up non-conference play yesterday in basketball, a big 105-82 win over South Dakota State. Is this Crimson Tide team ready for SEC play with as deep as the SEC is this year? Or is it a little, kind of fake? I'll just use fake news with the way the SEC, how deep they are this year.
Yeah, I think they're ready from a mental standpoint, physically. There's some injuries. Obviously, Houston Miller was held out yesterday. Darian Reed is in a boot. It seems like they haven't been able to get their entire team on one accord, moving in the same direction from a health standpoint. So health-wise, there might be some things that might prevent Alabama from maybe winning the regular season SEC title. We'll see how it plays out. But I think mentally they're ready for the push. And as long as this team is healthy and rounding into form, going into February and March, then we know what they're capable of. So ready in one aspect, maybe not ready in another. But, I'm still confident that this team is well-positioned for a deep tournament run.
Hey, Kennedy, go ahead. Any closing thoughts you got? Okay. I'm going to circle back on the JUCO. I just thought of something from the JUCO standpoint. Anything you want to shout out before we let you get out of here in the news? Everybody?
Yeah. No, I think I'm good. Just enjoyed the year being out with you guys. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. see you on the other side of the new year and keeping this thing rolling.
Hey, Kennington, we talked about high school. You know who else is going to be hit? It's the West Alabama. Someone just pointing out, because why would I go to West Alabama, North Alabama, South Dakota State, North Dakota State, and lose my eligibility when I can go somewhere else and keep it? I mean,
right? Yeah, 100%.
I mean, this is crazy. Anyway, one more time, Kennington, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, on Twitter/X at Kenny_theathletic.com or The Athletic on your mobile app, searching Kennington Smith or anything related to Alabama athletics.
All right. Hey, listen, as we get out of here, I'm going to shout out my man, Sam Shade. Sam Shade, former Alabama national champion DB, is now the head coach at Alabama A&M on the Hill. Can't wait to see what he does there. Kudos to Sam Shade. So if you guys get a chance, look up Sam Shade and send him some Alabama love. Now the head coach at Alabama A&M after a 3-year run at Miles College. So kudos to Sam Shade. Thanks to Kennington. Thanks to Xavier. Thanks to all the callers, listeners, viewers, and chatters for being a part of the program. I'm Martin Houston. Remember this, trust in the Lord always. Lean not your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. We will be here tomorrow for a game day edition of the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, powered by Bob Tide Care. Roll Tide, everybody.
Go inside the Alabama Crimson Tide with the Gary Harris Show.
Hey, everybody, it's Gary Harris. Coming up Monday morning at 9 a.m.